And we're back again. This time I added a couple of drops of silicone, but because this paint is as thin as water, I'm pretty much, curious to know what's going to happen. So I have an old canvas, or a very cheap canvas, and I am going to put a lot of those colors in the cup again. This time I'm going to put the colors all in, so it might get really muddy fast, but who cares? This is just a test. There it goes. And as you can see already, the silicone is taken over. Look at all the interesting stuff it's doing. Wow, that's fun. Now, when I torch it, see over here? Oh yeah, there's still some silicone in the underneath, so it pulls it up. But as you can see, because of the instability of the mixture, because it's so thin, not much is going to happen. Look at that, how thin it is. It's not even that ugly. I kind of like that. Let's see up here. Ah, yeah, I kind of like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to come back in with a little white and my palette knife. And do this. And remember guys, this is just for the just for experimenting, because I want to see what it does. And I'm going to let it come down a little. Make these really pretty little. Ooh, there's a lot of paint on the table. I could do this like all day. Oh, I love how that paint, just does its own, does its own thing and mixes up and does all kinds of weird stuff. I normally don't get to do much of this experimenting. Okay, that's that. There's a little bit, I think it needs a little bit more paint on the side here. I'm going to cover it up. I just might keep this. But as you can see how thin it is, so why I'm doing this on video, well, first thing, I know people like to see me, just experiment and do stuff. But the other thing is that there is a little bit of a learning experience in here, because if your paint is too thin, this is what's going to happen. So you'll see it all pretty much. The colors are going to mix really fast and they're going to become a uniform color. Usually you're going to go to the gray side of everything. If you use a lot of blues and greens, it'll be sort of a old patina green, like you see me using right now. That's what's going to happen. Oops, I spilled the cup. And the problem with having silicone in the paint, and when it's so thin, it's going to expose your canvas. So for the people just starting out and having these problems, the pieces of canvas are exposed, that's usually because your paint is too thin and you got too much silicone in there. So that's what you're seeing happening here with my painting. Let's see, there's a spot where, the silicone hit the canvas before the paint did, and that's what happens. And you can fix it by rubbing over it, rubbing the paint on the canvas, and then usually it'll just close up. Oh, a lot of silicone here. There you go. See how it closes afterwards? That's because you're just, you know, scraping off the silicone from the canvas, and then the paint comes in and it'll totally fill up. Okay, I'm gonna do one more torch over this. Whoops, I see another hole. That's a pretty big hole, so we'll put some more paint on there. But this can happen even 15 minutes from now. You can still have the paint go sideways and see the canvas. So don't think you're ready when you've done it. You know, always check like half an hour later to see if there are holes in the canvas or in the paint. Now, as you can see, I'm torching, and there's no cells happening. And do you know why? Because it's already all on the surface. See here, the holes coming back. That's what happens. If you have this, guys, it's because your silicone hits the canvas before the paint does. And of course you can just help it a little bit by putting some paint back on. But you'll have to keep an eye on it for at least half an hour. That's it. Okay, I don't think it's totally ugly, and it calls for something to be done on top. I don't want to put anything on top right now because then you won't have these nice circular drops. I'll show you because it's all experimenting, so I can show you. This is paint from yesterday. This is heavy body, and I'm gonna let a big drop in the middle there. Let me get a little water. And as you can see, this is what I'm talking about. I'll hold it up close. See how the drops aren't nice and round, but they all start to form little star things. That's what happens when you don't have the right consistency for your paint when you want to drop it on top. And it's even going even more like that, you know, sort of like, I don't know, what do we call that? We have a name for it. But I'm gonna take my palette knife and do that. That is kind of cool. I really do like that. Why won't you get in focus? There you go. That is kind of nice. Gives it something. Let's put some more on. I'm gonna do one band and there it is. Okay, that's nice. Let's keep that on there. Now another color, let's see, another brand, because I'm gonna be mixing up some brands. I kind of like to do that too, just to see which one cracks. The brands I have at the moment, none of them really crack when I put them in with other brands. There you go. That's nice. Turning into a nice painting. A little bit of white. And let me do this. Of course, that is way, way, way too thin. Let me come in with some thicker white. That is kind of nice. And this is something that I think, you know, when you're ready at the end of the day, you got your whole table all mucked up, you know, just have fun with it, because that's the way you really learn. Let me see if I get some cells. Nope, up there, no cells. So this is really the way you learn, and you get to put some colors together, and maybe sometimes you'll be using colors that you've never used before, and that sort of helps, you know, for the next painting that you have in mind. I'm gonna put this one on. A little bit more orange. I kind of like the way the orange looks on this background. And up here. Let's pull it up a little. Yep, like it. I know there's silicone in here, so that's why I'm giving it a little torch, just to see if something's gonna happen. That is, I like it. I don't know why, but I do. One more thing I want to do. Let's see if I got it somewhere here. I want to put a little bit more of this white on. That's it. And I wanted to do it with something round, like a spoon. But then I'll have to go inside. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to get another palette knife. That. And a little bit paint. Mix it up a little on the canvas. Yep. See if I can get some cells here. No. Okay. I like it. I really do. I don't think it's really butt ugly that I want to toss it straight away. I do like it, but I'm more of a cell person, really. So when this dries, I would absolutely put dots all over it, because I want something like cells to be somewhere. I am going to keep it. I will be working with it a little further. Already I can see the film of silicone on the top, little drops here and there. So that's something that you have to take from this video as the learning thing. If your paint is too thin, your silicone will come to the top. Then when you torch, you don't get any cells. Doesn't work. So if you ever experience that, thicken up your paint and try again. Another thing is that you have to move the paint, because just layering it down, if I just, this is really thin, but if I just layer it, nothing is going to happen. It's just going to stay as is. And then when I do this, zip, see, then something starts reacting because you're moving it. And now, see, even cells appear, because it needs a little speed. And I know I've, in the past, oh wow, that is cool. In the past, I always said, put a little speed in your paint, you need it. Well, I haven't been saying that like a long while, but it really is true. When you do something with your palette knife, or when you pour on a tilted canvas, and even the flip cup, it moves the paint so that, you know, you get those cells if you have silicone in it, and that really helps. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I'm gonna let this thing dry and we'll see what we can come up with. Maybe something new, who knows? Maybe those little 3D balls on the that I'm gonna buy. Just put some on there. Might look really cute. Okay, see you later. Love you all to pieces. See you.